Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of the Indie Spotlight. My name is Michael. I'm your host today. We're joined by fellow co-host Matt. And today we have an awesome creator with us. We've spoken with him before about some of his projects, and we're welcoming him back again today. And without further ado, how are you doing, Michael Derrick? How's it going?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back on the Wicked podcast.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I know. We're excited to talk to you about your book today. So, for those of you that don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do in comics?
Yeah, so my name is Michael Derrick. I'm a comic book writer. I'm currently on my third crowdfunding campaign. I launched my first Indiegogo campaign back in 2019, which was the original Abductables. After that, I launched a superhero comic called Grayscale. And now I'm promoting my third Indiegogo, which is the Abductables 2. It's the sequel to the sci-fi cult classic, as I like to call it.
It really is, man. It does feel classic, and of course with art by Ibai Canales, returning artist, as
Yes.
well. Well, that's awesome. And so, from what I understand, it's an expanded story as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so the original Abductables was 52 pages black and white. This time the
Nice.
sequel, we're going 60 pages full color.
Wow. Wow, man,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yep. So it's
Jeez, yeah.
bigger and better, and not only is the format bigger, but the story is goes in bigger and crazier direction than the first one.
Yeah. So, why don't you tell us a little about the story of the first issue?
Yeah. So the original Abductables was basically about a guy who wakes up on an alien spaceship, having just been abducted, and is about to get probed, and decides to he doesn't really want to get probed, so he goes full John Wick on the little gray aliens.
Oh, that's
So
hilarious.
yeah,
Yeah.
52 pages of a big muscly dude beating the crap out of little aliens. Who wouldn't want to read that?
Exactly. What gets better than that, man?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And of course you guys got success on that first round, and so you're able to get that out to everybody. And so you came back for this round here.
Yep.
Um, and so what was it like approaching, writing a sequel to something that could potentially be kind of a standalone story?
hmm Yeah, I mean, when I originally conceived the first Abductables, it definitely was intended to just be kind of a one
Mm.
shot. But somewhere along the way, during the production of the book, I got the idea for the sequel, and I couldn't resist, and I think it just made sense. It was so much fun working with Canales, who was the artist of the book, and because the first one was so well received, like I figured, might as well give the people what they want, and I think they wanted some more Abductables, so we decided to give it to them, and I think I have a really good idea for what the sequel should be, and I hope people enjoy it because, like I said, it takes the concept of the original and spins it off into a whole new direction, which is bigger, better, and crazier. So anybody who appreciated the action comedy elements of book one is definitely not going to be disappointed with book two because it's definitely all about upping the stakes.
That's awesome, man. And it definitely is a combination of action and comedy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. And and now the abductee, he's back, main character. But there's a new enemy, which is the reptilians. Um,
Yes.
so what can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. So, yeah, I guess depending on how you look at the first book, you could say that the gray aliens were the enemy. Um, but this time around, we're really flipping the dynamic because now, due to the events that led to the ending of the first book, through a bizarre twist of fate, the abductee actually finds himself working for the very aliens that
My
abducted
God.
him. Yeah, so complete role reversal. Now he's tasked with the he's tasked with defending the gray aliens against this new vicious alien warlord known as the Reptilian, who is wreaking havoc on the galaxy and is hell bent on destroying all the progress that the Greys have made scientifically and with their civilizations. And it's I used the tagline "This time it's war," which I stole from James Cameron's Aliens, because it is pretty accurate. This time the first Abductables was pretty self-contained. It mostly took place on the spaceship. But this time we're opening up the entire galaxy. We're going to be visiting multiple planets, seeing multiple alien races, and it's going to go into a full-blown, almost like a space opera this time. It's going to be a complete madness as the abductee goes head-to-head with the reptilian. And the thing about the reptilian is, whereas in the first book, obviously the little gray aliens didn't stand much of a chance against this big muscly dude with the instincts of a killer. But this time around, he's more than met his match with the reptilian. He's going to have a fight on his hands, and it's not going to be pretty. He might not come out of it unscathed. Oh, and I think we might have lost Michael.
Ooh, maybe, but sorry for the little bit of an echo. But so I don't know if we already went over it, but how exactly did you meet Canales, for those who don't know?
Yeah, so Canales, I was introduced to his art from his work with Richard C. Meyer, also known as your boy Zach to some people. He worked with him.
Sorry, I just got abducted by an alien there. My bad. Don't worry, I wasn't probed though, so I'm safe. Yeah.
All right, that's all that matters, as long as you weren't probed.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I was introduced to his work through his collaborations with Richard C. Meyer, and which eventually spun off into his work with him on Iron Sights, obviously, which is probably his most high-profile work. And I just got lucky because I just reached out to him. I really liked his style, his cartoony, expressive style, and I thought, Abductables was an idea I had already written the first 8 pages of the script. He seemed like the perfect guy for it, so I figured, what have I got to lose by reaching out to him? And so I hit him up on Twitter, and I was lucky enough, right place, right time, that he agreed to work with me, and we just went from there.
Right, and he has such an expressive style, very unique style. It's like you see it and it's Canales' work. Like you could just be scrolling through your timeline and you see a piece of art and you're like, oh, that's Canales' work right there. It's very iconic like that.
Yeah, and because the Abductables is by design a action comedy, I really don't think it would work with any other artist, because Canales really does sell the comedic aspects.
Yeah, that's very true. He's very funny in his own right, and I feel like that carries over in his art too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think any of the jokes that I put in the script would really sell with any other artist, because he can really, you don't even have to, even without the dialogue, you can look at his pages and, get a chuckle out of like the expressions he gives the gray aliens and all the character acting he does. So yeah, it was definitely the perfect fit as far as art and story.
Interesting. Yeah. Now let me see if I'd like to go ahead and see if I can switch over here, because I'd like to pull up the Indiegogo. I do want to share that with everybody. Make sure they can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch onto my computer here. Now, Matt, would you mind go ahead and take over here just for a second while I switch over? Matt, you with us there? Oh, I think we got 2 objections on here.
No, sorry. I forgot that I put myself on mute just in case it echoes or anything.
No worries. I just want to make sure we can get that screen share up. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to jump off and switch onto my computer here real quick.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thanks,
so for the main character, who were like a few inspirations that helped you create like his personality, or even just the way he looks? Or did you let Canales kind of create a lot of the look?
Yeah, so the idea was to create, basically, at least visually, like the biggest contrast you can to the traditional little gray aliens. They got the big heads, the big bobbleheads, the tiny little bodies, the big black eyes. So I was like, what better way to contrast that than to just have them go up against the biggest, muscle bound, steroid infused guy you can imagine. So, in the script, I described the abductee as Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. So obviously that was a big influence for the design, and obviously Canales took that idea and ran with it. A lot of people, say that the Abductables will make a great movie, and I agree, but I also think they don't make action stars like they used to. Like you don't see guys like Arnold anymore with those big rippling muscles. So it's definitely got that 80s influence to it for sure.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is that kind of throwback style hero in a way.
Yeah, kind of.
I will say, from what I saw and what I look at, and even kind of the reading, it does feel a little bit of like, to me personally, that there's a little bit of Duke Nukem or at least Doom Slayer in there.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say those were direct influences on me in particular. I'm sure Canales brought a lot of that to the table as well. But yeah, a lot of people have made those comparisons to the Doom guy and of course Duke Nukem. And again, those in and of themselves are kind of they kind of grew out of that. That's more 90s, but they kind of came out of that idea of the 80s action hero where, back in the day it was normal for, you had your Dolph Lundgrens and your Sylvester Stallones, and it was just kind of like you couldn't have an action movie without some big meathead guy on steroids, just with the rippling muscles and stuff. So
yeah, that's true, man. It also made me think of like the anime Fist of the North Star, which was kind of around the same era too, in a sense. So,
and that for sure, and not just we're talking about the visual aspect, but even just his personality. He's designed to be very stoic. He's a man of few words, but when he does speak, he always has a great one-liner to deliver.
Always leave an impact on you. It's true. Okay, interesting. Well, yeah, I could definitely see where you're coming from with that character design there. Yeah, that's awesome. Now I do have. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the link here, or rather the page here for the campaign. Also gonna post a link, and check out what you got going on. See all the perks that you have on offer. And first of all, as I get this up here, just like to ask, are you offering the first issue again?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was definitely another incentive to launch the sequel, because a lot of people did miss out on the first campaign. It launched pretty early in the crowdfunding Indiegogo boom that kind of started in 2018. So a lot of people have been asking me the last year or two, like, how can I get a copy of the Abductables? So for sure, you can definitely, if you did miss out on the first one, you can absolutely get a copy of the first book along with the new issue 2. So yeah, I definitely encourage anybody who missed out to jump on board and get the full story. I think with both book 1 and 2, you get a total of 112 story pages. So it's a lot of comic book, and yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's interesting. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it is in a floppy format, but the amount of pages it's approaching graphic novel size at that point.
Yeah, because the average comic book, floppy monthly comic is about 20 pages. So with the new one being 60 pages, you're basically getting 3 issues in one. Right? So yeah, it's very we do print it in that traditional comic book style, but we're really pushing it the page count, because it, like you said, it is pretty much a graphic novel at that point.
Yeah, it allows you to do a lot more story with that amount of pages.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, and just while this is a sequel and it does lead out of the events of the first book, just like the first book, it is self-contained in its own way. It will have a satisfying conclusion, just like the first one had. So if while I do definitely encourage people to pick up the first book along with the second, if money's an issue, or what any reason you have not to pick up the first one, no worries, because I like to think that the book 2 is very easy to jump into. if you haven't read the first one.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can kind of just jump in. You don't need to know exactly what's happened before because you can just pick it up and figure out everything that's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that makes it very accessible, I feel like, to new readers. Well, excellent, man. Thank you again for joining us tonight. This is really awesome. I always love your book. Like when the first one came out, it was I think it turned out really great. And then even your second series, Glitter City, wasn't it?
Yeah, Grayscale. Welcome to
Grayscale. Yeah. That one, even I thought that was a great concept as well. So I'm definitely glad to see you're putting out more books.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to go back. Like I said, Grayscale, that was a superhero book, but it's nice to go back to return to what I started with which is the sci-fi book, Abductables.
True, and now expanded out to even being way bigger universe than what it was before.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, working with Canales, I bet is just so much fun. He seems like he'd be a good collaborator.
Oh yeah, it's great working with him. He's very, very easy to work with. We're definitely on the same page when it comes to a lot of our ideas, and he definitely had a lot of fun drawing the first book. So he was more than happy to come back for the second. It took a little longer than we would have liked just due to scheduling issues, but
okay, yeah.
Yeah, now he's got time, and he's been cranking out pages even as the campaign's going. So yeah, it's going along nicely.
Yeah, that's excellent. I just want to say this guy looks really funny.
Yeah, that's kind of the gray. He's kind of a mad scientist. He's kind of the one pulling the strings behind all the evils in the galaxy. So yeah, he's definitely an important player in the story we're telling.
Nice. Now, is Ibai doing the colors as well?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting. I'm not sure I've ever really seen much of his color work.
Yeah, he's done some color work here and there, most notably on some of his old web comics. So he's definitely had the experience with it before. But I always knew I wanted the sequel to be full color, just because going along with the idea of making things bigger and better. Not to mention a lot of people. For the first book, they did want it to be in full color.
Interesting.
Canales, he does a great job with his black and white work because he has this grayscale tone, like the zipatone to his work that's very distinctive and recognizable, and his color work I think complements that nicely. It makes for a nice transition between the two books because he does have this kind of painterly. Almost like a watercolor style, as you can see there on that cover. So yeah, I think it definitely complements it nicely. And because the second book, we're, like I said, we're visiting all these different alien worlds. It really gives him the freedom to go as crazy as he wants with the colors. He could be as experimental as he wants to be, and because this is uncharted territory, so he can we can go as crazy as we want with the colors and the settings, and we're definitely going to be visiting some worlds people have never seen before. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's you're right. He does kind of have that. It's almost like it reminds me of the Berserk covers in the way that they kind of like you said, that painted on kind of quality.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the perks here and start taking a look at what you have on offer. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this first perk? We'll just go down the line here and go from there. But what is the Abductables 1 and 2 all about?
Yep. So that is our featured perk. That is where you can get issues 1 and 2 together, both physical copies. That's $50, and that does include free shipping. So great deal. If you did miss out on the first book and you wanted to get both copies, that is right there. You get them both for $50 free shipping.
Nice, that's a good deal. Yeah, I like that free shipping. That's pretty nice.
Yep, and I should mention that it will be a new printing of the first Abductables. Okay. We didn't have as many of the leftovers of the original printing as I thought we did, so. We do actually we offer the leftovers of the original printing as an add-on perk if people did want that. But this Abductables will be a new printing. So
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Anything different from the first printing to the second printing?
It'll not as far as like the content, but it'll have a new I guess trade dressing you could call it, like have the new logo.
Oh, okay.
It'll be slightly different, and but yeah.
Very nice. And then this next year we have the digital. Always got to have a digital, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And then
we
I'm sure
actually
that one.
have so we have the two versions of the digital
Oh, okay.
standard and digital deluxe.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, digital standard, that's just the 60-page Reticulous comic, the sequel. If people have already read the original Abductables and they just want to get the digital version of the second book, they can go with the digital standard for $10. And then digital deluxe for $18. That gets you both the Abductables and Reticulous comics, Abductables 1 and 2, digital, as well as a bonus digital sketchbook, which comes with exclusive drawings from Canales, the full script of the book, creator commentary, behind the scenes stuff. So a lot of cool extras for people who enjoy kind of seeing the making of the book.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that'll be pretty interesting. Kind of see that creative process really unfold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people like to see kind of the behind the scenes aspect. So it's definitely some interesting stuff in there for sure.
Nice, man. Now, would you think you'd ever come back and do a trilogy, a third comic, man?
That's the plan. I hope so. I definitely have a really good idea for the third book. If we get to that point, it would be a trilogy. It would be the last installment in the series.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I definitely, I really hope we can make that because again, going along with the books 1 and 2, just like those, it'll be self-contained in its own way while still leading out of the events of the previous books. But yeah, hopefully one day we can get that third book out there because I got a really cool idea for it.
That's excellent. Yeah, and see if you can get success on this one, and then go there from there. But based on the first one, it definitely seems like you're on the right track here.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. So what is the Reticulous comic? What is this? And what comes with this perk here?
So this is the physical copy of the 60-page Reticulous comic. The sequel. I call it the Abductables 2 for marketing purposes, but really it's just called Reticulous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you just this is basically for the people who already read the first book and they just want to get a physical copy of the second. So yeah, you get that for $20. 60 pages, full color, bag boarded, shipped in a Gemini mailer.
Very nice, very nice. And then interesting. Whoa, this is looks like an interesting perk here. What is this one about, man?
Yeah, so this is actually a really, really good deal. So $100, free worldwide shipping. Get you a digital art commission from Abductables artist Ibai Canales. Any character of your choosing from any series, he will draw a pinup for you. Dang. And not only that, but it also includes complimentary copies of both the Abductables and Reticulous physical copies. So yeah, that's a great deal for $100.
Very cool.
Yeah, so not only
because Ibai is not only in demand, so it's hard to get him to be able to do stuff like that. But he doesn't, has a high pedigree, so of course his art gets a high price for it. So you definitely feel like that's a good deal, honestly.
Yeah, definitely, and that is one of our limited perks. We only have 8 available, so definitely I recommend people jump on that while they can. And yeah, if you were gonna buy the book anyway, I definitely recommend getting this because who wouldn't want a digital commission on top of that? Whether you're just a fan and you want them to draw one of your favorite characters, or if you have your own campaign and you want some promo art, obviously people are free to use the art that they get there however they wish. But yeah, it's a great deal, and yeah, I definitely recommend people getting in on that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I really hope that they do as well because yeah, I think it would just be really interesting to see Ibai's take on some different characters, like you said, some regional characters or maybe some fan art or some stuff. It'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Very nice. And then moving up to the next level, we have the get probe level. Oh, this one sounds scary. Usually you have to buy someone dinner first before you get this part.
Yeah, this one I'll be interested to see who's brave enough to take us up on this offer because one of the fun things about crowdfunding is and one of the more popular perks that these campaigns tend to have is the option to get yourself drawn into the book as a character. So this time we're offering that. This is a one-of-a-kind perk. Not only will you get drawn into the book as a character, but your character will be probed by aliens. So, a lot of times it's like, oh, you can be a character in the book and you get killed, you get shot in the face. And that's all fun and good, but if you really want to take it to the next level,
oh, that's hilarious, dude.
So we'll see who's brave enough to get probed.
Awesome. Oh my god, I love it. So one perk too, only one person can get it too.
Yep. Yeah, because this book takes place in space, and really the abductee is pretty much the only human character. It wasn't as easy as previous books to find a place to have a human character. So we did figure out, okay, we do have this one flashback we could do where we can have a one-of-a-kind perk where you get probed in the book. And not only that, but it also, as with the previous perks, it does come with physical copies of Abductables 1 and 2.
Good. So then you can see all the glory in printed fashion.
Yes. And it's also, great deal for international backers too, because that's free worldwide shipping.
Damn.
So
that's nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people who offer that. That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, so those higher tier perks are definitely worth the money, especially, like I said, international backers, save some money as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's worth it for sure. Excellent, man. And then we're moving up. We have the executive producer. I love you getting creative with these titles here, man.
Yeah, I gotta throw in those puns where you can.
Exactly, man. Now, what's this one all about?
Yep. So this is our highest level perk. This comes with one of everything. You get physical copies of Abductables 1 and 2. You get the digital copies. You get the digital sketchbook. You get a Canales art commission, which that was a perk on its own, but that you actually get one of those as well with this perk. You get all the add-on perks that we have that you see at checkout, which is a sketchbook, or not a sketchbook, a sketch card. Bunch of you get the proof copy, and I think the most important thing about this, not only do you get one of everything as far as the items go, but you also get your name listed on the credits page as executive producer.
Executive producer or actually executive producer?
I'm not sure if I'm going to carry the pun all the way to the credit. I'll have to think about that.
That's fair. Understandable.
So you'll be listed along with the rest of the creative team on the credits page. Dude. So you get that. Yeah, you get that extra flair to your perk. So yeah, definitely.
So that you really were part of making this book come to life, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, I like seeing you get creative with these because I'm not seeing some of these angles before with the perks. So I think it's pretty interesting. I always like to see new ideas with people's perks.
Yeah.
New directions.
Yeah, and
this one is very. That one's very different. A lot of people would not really want to give that kind of away,
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Right. That's a very generous thing to do as well, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one of the fun things about crowdfunding is you get that level of interaction with the readers that you wouldn't normally get if you were just selling a book on Amazon or something. So any chance I can get to kind of bring people into the processed a little more is always a fun option to have.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that's a big part of why people like to get involved with the crowdfunding, because it is different from just buying it from a web store or something like that. You do get to feel like you're more involved with the creator and part of that process as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Neostar in the chat says a commission from Canales would be dope. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it would.
And I didn't even think about this, but it just occurred to me. It's to your point that you said earlier. It is pretty rare to get a Canales commission these days. He's such a high in demand artist. He's always got multiple projects going on at once. He's very that's why it took so long to get Abductables 2 out, because he was so busy with his schedule. So and that's why it is a limited perk, because he can't be doing too many of those. And so yeah, it's definitely a rare opportunity to get some Canales artwork, exclusive Canales artwork.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like you said, he's almost always getting offers, I feel like, because he's just constantly. I'm always talking to, every now and then I'll pop in and check on him. He's like, "Oh yeah, just starting some new projects here. Got no time for this." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, jeez, man.
Yeah.
Where do you even find time to sleep?"
Yeah. Very, very busy man.
Oh yeah, that's for sure, man. Which is nice that he was able to return for the sequel. It makes even more special in that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's excellent, man. I love all the perks you got here. So you got everything from the lower perks, offering just the basic book itself, to all these extras that you can add on, and of course the digital, which is great. Now, it looks like with the feature, this is probably the one that most people will grab, I would imagine, if they missed the first campaign, or maybe the second standalone issue down here. It looks like most people who come back from the first one are grabbing this one here.
Yeah, luckily, a lot of people were enthusiastic about the sequel, so we're definitely getting a lot of people who, from the first book, coming back for the second, which is always encouraging.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. It means you've done you've done it right. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Nice. Well, let's take a look. I want to scroll down here and see what else you got here. Some more of this art here.
Now, real quick, did you have any plans on, in the future, maybe a different series, but using this universe to explore different, you could say, like different aliens, or just different species, or like a different someone else who's been taken by the Greys, or a different alien race?
Yes and no. I mean, I think the idea of throwing in a different character in a similar scenario of getting abducted and then kicking alien ass, that's definitely something I would be open to. I think there's a lot of crossover potential, at least in that. I've had some offers from other people with other crowdfunding campaigns to do a crossover with my characters and theirs. So I'm definitely open to collaborations on that end, and kind of exploring any kind of crossovers any kind of crossover potential, for sure. I feel like we are kind of expanding that. Even though it does have the same main character from the previous book, I feel like with the sequel, we definitely are expanding in a way that, because we are going to all these different alien planets and meeting all these different alien races, I feel like it does expand the original concept in a really big way. So yeah, who knows what the future might hold. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of possibilities, and even go into that potential third book. There's definitely a lot of lore left to explore in this universe that we have here. So I like to, with the third book, I like to say that it'll leave no stone unturned when it comes to kind of UFO lore and aliens and conspiracies and all the stuff people like when it comes to gray aliens and everything that comes with it. So yeah, definitely more stuff planned.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you jumping from the black and white to this color one and having anything expanded like that, it definitely seems like in the next one you'll probably even expand, as you were saying, you'll expand it even more to the next level.
Yeah, definitely.
And I do feel like the color opens it up a lot more. Like even just looking at this panel here, it really adds this vibrancy to the book in a way.
Yeah, it's definitely it's very unique. I don't. Yeah, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's just got this very unique look, and there's nothing else like it. And again, I think Canales' color work really complements the sci-fi elements.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that, it's almost like an otherworldly look to it. So yeah, very, very happy with how it's turning out.
Yeah, it's got this. I love how it's got this kind of grainy quality as well. That like kind of adds to that otherworldliness in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it looks really good. Oh God, he's back.
Yeah, just in case anybody thought, because he's working for the Grays that he's lost his edge, we wanted to remind people that he's still as dangerous as ever.
I like the gray on there on the right. He's like, oh damn. Oh man, that's really awesome.
So, who's going to be doing the lettering for it? Are you, or is Canales also going to be doing it?
Most likely I'll be doing it. I did letter the first book. And so I think not only just to have that kind of continuity, but also just, to save some money, I'll probably be lettering the book myself.
Nice. Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a learning process the first time around, because I had never lettered a book before when I lettered Abductables, but I definitely learned a lot, and I think it'll go a lot easier this time around. It's just based on what I learned from lettering the first book.
That's excellent. Yeah, and it does allow you to have a little more creativity. I lettered my first comic as well too. My first couple issues of that first comic so far, and it's kind of fun in its own way to do your own lettering. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, as far as the creative aspect, like you can change things on the fly and customize. I mean, you can still do that when working with a letter, but it's a lot easier to kind of tailor your dialogue to the pages when you're lettering it yourself.
Exactly. And see how it would flow and really get in there and see it for yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this guy is this is like the big boss or something. What's going on here?
Yeah, so that's actually the abductee's little sidekick in the book. We call him Blub. He's basically a gray alien with a bit of a weight problem, as you can see. He's a big boy. So yeah, he's kind of he's more of a comic relief character, but he's also the guy that kind of designs all of the abductees' weaponry and armor. So he gives them the best tools to fight the aliens.
He's kind of like, what is it, the Q character from James Bond?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice, man. You gotta have the gadgets guy, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool, man. I love to see you coming back here, man. This is a fun book. This is gonna be really great.
Yeah, it's fun to be back with this, going back to this franchise, this world.
That's awesome. Who did the art on this piece here?
Yeah, so that's from 6 a.m. Comics. You guys might have seen his stuff around. He does those kind of chibi miniature versions of all these different crowdfunding characters. That's actually our first stretch goal. If we do, the book, we need to raise 8,000 so to get funded. But once we hit that, if we get to 10K, everybody will get a free magnet of the miniature abductee. So it'll be a die cut magnet. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I think the piece came out really, really fun, actually.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his style, and he did a great job with the abductee right there.
Yeah, his style is really interesting, isn't it? It's you can do so much with so little. Like the lines, are almost minimalistic in a way, but it conveys so much to the little details that he puts in.
Yeah, it's and again, it complements the comedic aspect as well, because.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, and so that's actually what I was going to ask you about, was a stretch goal. So that's the first stretch goal, and looks like you have a couple others as well.
Yep. So that was the first one. The second one right here, you get a printout, a cardboard printout of this, the blockheads. That's another. I don't know if you guys have seen that. They're kind of these papercraft things where you build them yourself, and you make this little blockhead character. And of course, we have our abductee there. So yeah, it'll.
God, look at his face too. Jeez,
some assembly required. You will have to, build the thing yourself. But if we do reach that stretch goal, everybody will receive a copy of that printout. So that.
Well, that's fun too. Yeah, and that's kind of the fun of you want to be able to put it together yourself in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, it looks really nice too.
It does. It came out good, man.
Yeah, definitely. Again, same as 6 a.m. He, the Blockheads guy, I definitely recommend people checking out his website because he does a lot of the crowdfunding characters as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool. You also take a look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I put a link to his website on there as well.
Nice.
If people want to check that out. But yeah, very, very cool. It's I just love seeing the characters done in all these different styles.
Yeah, I know. It gives you something to put on your shelf too. You kind of have a little, keepsake, something to remember, or what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Now the last is this the last stretch goal here?
Yep. Last one, 20,000. We upgrade the book from a traditional floppy comic to a prestige, full-on trade paperback with the spine and everything.
Wow, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and I definitely, even with the traditional comic, we give the best paper quality we can for sure. But if we did reach that goal, it will take it even further. Not just with the trade paperback printing format, but page quality and everything will be upgraded if we get to that point.
Oh, that's excellent. So it'd be the premium edition of the comic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very nice, man. And we got some more art here.
Yep, that's for people who signed up for the pre-launch page. That was the incentive we offered, as they receive a free trading card, and that's the artwork from the trading card. So,
and you got also yeah, good question.
That's Doodle Bags. He did the art for Vestige, and again, another style that really complements the material.
It really does, yeah. And like you said, it's so interesting to see all these different styles on the same character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely part of the fun for me is seeing it interpreted in so many different ways.
Now, I'm assuming here it looks like he's got half gray face going on here.
Yeah.
What's going on with that, man?
Not to give anything away for people who haven't read the first book, but let's just say something does happen toward the end of Abductables 1 that gives him that gray alien eye. It's some might say it was a unfortunate incident, but it does have its benefits. So if you do want to figure out, like I said, the second book, you don't need to have read the first one. You can just jump right in. But I will say, if you want to find out how the hell he got that alien eye, definitely read the first book.
And it sounds like it kind of leads into that whole part of issue 2, or the second sequel rather, where he's kind of leading the Greys, and so you kind of can pick that up if you read. Get the situation here, but you want to go find out how we got there, and then go pick up that first issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool, man. Again, just expanding everything out, getting it, even more so, than what it was in that first issue, and what you kind of even first conceptualized.
Yeah.
And we got another. Is this also by Doodle Bags? This one we're looking at now?
No, that one's by Ink Spots. He's
about Ink Spots. Okay.
Yeah, he's a colorist for Cash Grab. But he, as you can see, he has his own style for his own work that I really love, kind of a painted style.
Nice, yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite pieces of, I was such a fan of his style that I wanted to commission him anyway. So, nothing specific in mind for this piece other than, we'll probably print it in the back of the book in like the pinup gallery or something. But yeah, I definitely love this piece. I really dig his style, and makes for a great promotion as well.
Yeah, it really came out nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of reminds me somewhat of you also had that painted piece. It looks like it was a perk as well that was sold for the Jeff Lasley piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another painted style.
I believe.
Big fan of Jeff Lasley. Yeah, that perk did sell out. Or he did that painting for us. That one hurt because that one was hard to part with.
I bet, man.
Yeah, I really Jeff is one of my favorite artists, and obviously you've worked with him on barrels for Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one hurt because I really didn't want to part with that piece, but I figured it's for the betterment of the campaign, so kind of have to bite the bullet and put it up for sale. And of course, to no surprise, it sold out pretty fast. So.
Yeah, that piece came out really nice, didn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be interesting. So it's already been sold. Have you shipped it out yet then, or are you waiting to the end of the campaign to ship that one out?
Yeah, I'll wait till at least until we get to in demand.
Okay, right. Ship it with all the other stuff, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably ship it out before the. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll get a better look at it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's another perk that comes with physical copies of the book. But yeah, I'll probably ship that out separately and make sure to pack it as
you can enjoy it just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Have to say goodbye.
Right, exactly. Nice, man. Well, yeah, you really do have quite a lot of art. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really excellent, man. I think you've done an excellent job of taking what you did with the first one and just like bringing it all the way to the next level and kind of amplifying it, which is that's cool, man. I mean, that's what a sequel should really be about. Take the best part of the first one and then build on it, right?
Yeah, and that's definitely it's all about bigger and better, and it's not it's a sequel, but it's also like its own thing. Like it's again, because it's kind of standalone on its own. You don't have to have read the first one, but I don't want to say it's like a reboot or anything like that. Like it definitely leads from the previous book, but it's so different. It's so we lean more into the action side of things while still having those comedic elements, but the scope is just so much bigger and the fight scenes are so much grander, and it's just people are going to be pleasantly surprised with how action packed this book is.
And do you think what kind of a character, like from book 1 to book 2, has the abductee changed? Is his goals, are they different? What can you tell us maybe a little bit about the abductee going into this sequel book here?
Yeah, so again, because he's kind of that stoic character, man of few words, he's all about the mission. He is all about completing the task that's put before him, and because the events that led out of the first book and led him to actually working for the gray aliens in a bizarre way. Now that he's in that position, he's taken it to as far as he can. He's basically at the start of book 2, he kind of just acts as like the enforcer for the Greys, like defending them on alien planets and launching rescue missions and taking out alien monsters on their behalf, and all this crazy kind of wet work stuff. And it's that leads into, once the reptilian appears, like he's basically the Grey's only hope for survival, because he's kind of this killing machine at that point. And so he's all about the mission, and book 2, his mission is to take out the reptilian at all costs.
Oh God, I just hope he doesn't, what is that saying about staring into the abyss and becoming a monster and all that? Let's just hope he doesn't become the monster.
Yeah, I mean, you might be onto something there. That's definitely, that's definitely themes that we'll be playing with for sure.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, I like that, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So you guys are currently getting close to 3,000. You're on the way there right now, and it looks like, what is the percentage there? It's almost 30%.
Yep.
With 14 days to go, so you got ways to go, but it looks like you can make it. You just got to keep pushing it. And now, is there any chance to extend it all?
Yeah. So, worst case scenario, if we don't get funded by the end of those 14 days, we do have one more 30-day extension.
Oh, excellent. Perfect. Excellent. That's good,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, just in case you need that.
Yeah, just in case. Hopefully, we don't have to do that just because, I want to go in demand as soon as possible. Because the sooner we do that, the sooner we can get the book out.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, we do have that extension, but, I've learned not to panic too much when it comes to campaigns because
Oh, that's good.
based on my experience, this being my third campaign,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
the majority of your backers you get on day one and then the last day. So which is understandable because I do the same thing. I tend to wait till the last minute to back campaigns that I want to back.
You're right.
Yeah. But so yeah, hopefully we still got a lot of backers waiting for the last minute. So.
Well, yes, and I do think you're right. For some reason, that does seem to be the case there. And and like you said, you've had experience with these before. This is your third campaign. You're heading off to 2 successes here. So definitely a definitely good trend, man. I'm definitely confident that you guys are going to be able to make this goal here.
Thank you. Yeah, and I hope that this being my third campaign and having successfully fulfilled the first 2, I hope that has built me up some trust with the community that they know that this book will come out. It will be high quality, and people can trust me because I know a lot of people have been burned with crowdfunding, but this is something that I take very seriously, and I've got I've proven that I can do it before, and I'd be more than happy to do it again if we get funded.
Yeah, no, that's excellent, man, and I think you're right. You kind of have proven yourself, and there's that trust now that you've built up with your audience, and your readers, and so to have them come back and back you again, I think that it must feel really rewarding for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm so grateful to all the people that support my work, and the enthusiasm that they had for the first book means a lot to me, and it definitely encouraged me to make the second one.
Now, moving for just a moment here, I just want to touch on a few other things. Do you have any other books in the works, or anything in the future plans that you could share with us at this time?
Yeah, definitely. So we're working on the sequel to my superhero book, Grayscale, right now.
Oh, nice.
Yep, we've already got some pages drawn, and the artist is drawing the cover right now. So people, unfortunately, due to some of the shipping delays with the postal service, some people are still waiting on their books. I shipped everything out a while ago, but because of the delays, some people are still waiting.
I actually just got my book a week ago or so.
Oh, nice.
I was going to dive into it pretty soon here.
Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah. Luckily, there was some delays, but people are posting them on that they've got their books on Twitter, so they're finally coming in.
Nice.
So once I'm sure that everybody's got their books, I'll be promoting that a little bit more.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah, stay tuned for Grayscale 2, and then of course, like I said before, if there's a demand for it, which I hope there is, I definitely want to do Abductables 3 for sure.
Very nice. Yeah. Do you think you would slot any other books in there, or would you move right into Abductables 3 after your next Grayscale book? Do you think?
I probably, obviously I have a million ideas for a million different books.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely want to get to them at some point. But for now, I definitely want to focus on Abductables and Grayscale.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, once if and when we do get Abductables 3, like I said, that would be the last book in the series for sure. So after that, I mean, obviously I would love to continue to work with Canales in some way, shape, or form. So if we do get to the point where we make Abductables 3, after that, I would love to work with him on a new franchise.
So you would work with Canales again then, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I actually do have a specific idea. I don't know. I think I even talked to him about it, like post Abductables. I would want to work with Canales on like a horror comedy franchise. Kind of going off of, Abductables being a sci-fi comedy. I have a really good idea for a horror comedy that I think he would be perfect for.
Yeah, and he definitely does horror. When he has his webcomic Decimators, and so he definitely has a good pedigree in horror already. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, Decimators, in a way, that's almost like a zombie franchise.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and look,
Have
speaking of the
you?
devil, and he's now up here.
Yes.
I would love to keep working with you. Oh, what a nice
Awesome.
thing to say.
Yes.
Hey,
It's,
Canales, thanks for joining us. We were just talking about Abductables here.
yeah, it's
funny.
definitely great to be working with him again. And like I said, I would love to work on him in the future with him in the future on other franchises.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, what is there anything you could tell people out there who maybe kind of considering backing your book who are still on the fence about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm really proud of the work that we're doing here. You know, I shamelessly call the original Abductables a cult classic comic because while that makes for great promotion, I really do consider it a cult classic in a way because that, back in 2019, we, it wasn't like one of the big campaigns. It wasn't like a 6-figure campaign or anything like that. I think we raised a little under $8,000 the first time. But the word of mouth was so strong and the response was so strong. It was very, very encouraging. A lot of people have said that it's their favorite crowdfunded book that they received. And that means the world to me to hear that. So, just again, because the response was so positive, I knew that we had to make a sequel. So that alone, I hope the word of mouth really encourages people to pick this up. This is again not something. It's definitely something you could jump right into. You don't even have to necessarily, people like to draw the lines between genres, but while this is a sci-fi book, you don't have. It's not like you have to be like a sci-fi fan to read it because really, at the end of the day, it's just all about action. And I think anybody who loves comics is going to love this because we take the idea. So many comics nowadays are trying to be movies, trying to be TV shows. Abductables as a series is, it loves being a comic book, and we do stuff that you can only do in comics. The kind of bombastic action storytelling with the crazy concepts and just page after page of ridiculous material. This is a pure love letter to everything I love about comics. So and that's what we're all here for. We love comic books, and the Abductables to me is like the ultimate comic because it's everything I love about comics just put into those 60 pages.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty incredible that you kind of put all these homages to everything that you loved and kind of really tried to put everything in there. It makes me wonder how you're going to top yourself in the third book, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yes.
And that's funny. Well, that's excellent, man. I do want to just say again, everyone, please go check out the book. I'm going to put the link up here again, just so everyone can see that. And just, is there anything else that you want to say to all your fans out there and all the people who've been supporting you for this long?
Yeah, just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who's supported the book from the beginning. Thank you to all our early backers. I talked about how a lot of people wait to the last minute to back the book, and I've definitely been guilty of that. But it really does mean the world to me and anybody who's crowdfunding a book that, the earlier you can back, the better. It puts a lot of less stress on the creators. And, if this is something that you're interested in, I just know that you can definitely, trust me and Canales as creators because we take this very seriously. And this is all we want to do. We just want to entertain people. And, this is the Abductables is pure entertainment. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it also has those serious moments that'll really make you think. And that's something that a lot of people said about the first book was, while it was action comedy and a lot of funny moments, like there was more depth to it than they expected. And I want to entertain people. So please do. If anything we said today caught your interest and you're on the fence, then please do check it out. Check out the link to the campaign and give it a shot because we got a really cool story to tell.
Well, that's excellent. Yeah, I can definitely tell you have the passion there for this book and this series. It's definitely coming from a place of love. I can see that. I think that shows through with the work for sure. I think people will be able to tell that. And definitely, please, like you said, go check it out, guys. I love the first issue or the first book, and it's hilarious, and the action is awesome, and of course, it's just got the epic art from Canales, and so it's just kind of like the complete package, really. So what more do you need?
Exactly.
So yes, go check it out. There's a ton of perks we went over them today. If you missed the first book, go ahead and pick it up with the second, but you can also get the second by itself. There's plenty of digital offerings as well as some really interesting perks. You could get probed. There's one offering to get probed that is really legit on that Indiegogo page. So if you don't believe me, go check it out. And
you're not going to find a perk like that on any other campaign.
Exactly. I can guarantee you that one. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you coming out to chat with us for a little while and talk about your book. Can you maybe tell everyone where they can find you online just so they can see all the stuff that you've got going on?
Yeah, definitely. So if anybody has any questions about the campaign or anything else, feel free to hit me up. I'm on the main place you can find me is Twitter at Cauldron Comics. But I've also followed a lot of the social media exodus to Minds, where I'm also at Cauldron Comics as well. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me, hit me up, and I'll be happily answer any questions people have about the campaign or anything else.
Very nice, man. Well, thank you again, everyone who hung out with us during the live show, and if you're watching on replay, we appreciate that as well. Everyone, go check out the link. I'm putting that up one more time. Go check out that Indiegogo link, and let's help them get that goal and avoid getting abducted in the process. Let's make sure Michael does not get abducted and gets a book instead. Thanks, everyone, and yes. Well, thanks again, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you on another episode. And we'll see you later, guys. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.
Have a great one.